From a certain character's sudden death to Kelly Severide's character going out of town, here are the most unexpected Chicago Fire characters who left the show, starting with Leslie Shea's unexpected death.
Come on.
Shay!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Shay! Shay!
Go to the head. Compressions. Switch on 3 with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
If you've been watching Chicago Fire since the beginning, you'll know that Shay was a beloved character who was part of the original cast. Played by Lauren German, people liked her for being smart, strong, and always there for her friends. So it surprised people when she died unexpectedly in Season 3. Shay's death was a sad and shocking turn of events that broke the hearts of many. Many fans posted on social media about how much they would miss Shay and how the show would never be the same without her. Then why did Lauren German quit? There are a few ideas out there, so let's go through them one by one. First, some people say it was a creative choice made by the show's writers, who thought that Shay's death would give the show more drama and depth. Others think German might have wanted to move on to other things. But no matter why Shay left the show, there's no denying that it greatly affected the show and its fans. Speaking of fan favorites, another character broke my heart with his unexpected exit, Jimmy Borelli, who joined the show in Season 4. He was played by Stephen R. McQueen.
You know, I am so excited to be joining the cast of Chicago Fire. I think it's so rare that you walk onto a new set and are welcomed or feel like you're welcomed to a family. You know, they're so kind and so sweet.
And was a new firefighter who quickly became an important part of the team because he was brave and worked hard. His time on the show was cut short when he was written out of the show without warning in Season 5. People were shocked by Jimmy's sudden exit, especially since he'd become a fan favorite so quickly. So why did Stephen R. McQueen quit the show? Well, it looks like the show's writers gave him the idea to leave. Some reports say they thought Jimmy's storyline was done, and it was time to move on to new characters and storylines. People were sad to see him leave, but they knew that sometimes changes are needed to keep the show interesting and new. Then there were characters who only appeared briefly, but whose exit still left me sad. Anna Turner also left Chicago Fire without anyone expecting it. Played by Charlotte Sullivan,
Stay in town a while. There's great doctors here. I'm here. Let's figure it out.
You know, you've only known me as like this sick girl laying in a hospital bed. That's not me. This is me.
Anna became a love interest for Kelly Severide in the 5th season. She was a paramedic who quickly became a fan favorite on the show. Her time on the show was cut short when she was killed off unexpectedly in Season 6. People were shocked when Anna died suddenly, especially since she'd only been on the show for 1 season. Some people thought her leaving might have been because of creative differences behind the scenes, while others thought it was just to add some drama to the show. Go figure. But of course, when you talk about unexpected Chicago Fire deaths, you can't forget Gabriella Dawson. She was one of the most important characters on Chicago Fire from the start.
I don't know. I don't like the feel of this. Let me take a look. Dawson, what are you doing? Dawson!
So fans were shocked when she left in Season 7. She was a firefighter known for her bravery, strength, and commitment to her job. Gabriella was also in a popular relationship with Matthew Casey, which made it even harder for fans to accept her leaving. Although when a character just dips without reason, that's pretty frustrating too. You see, there's no reason why Monica Raymond quit, and so far, the actress hasn't said much about it either. Raymond hasn't exactly revealed her reasons yet, but she has hinted that it was a personal choice, that it was time for her to move on and try new things. She also praised the show and the people who made it, saying that it was great to work on Chicago Fire. Gabriella leaving the show was sad for fans. They had every right to feel that way. After 7 seasons, many people had grown to like her character and were sad to see her go. But some people thought Gabriella's storyline was done, and the show should move on to new characters and storylines. So how did the show change after these fan favorite characters left? Well, it's safe to say that each departure changed the show and us in a big way. Some people thought the show wasn't the same without Shay. Others were upset that Jimmy and Anna had to leave so quickly. Gabriella's departure was a big turning point for the show because it ended a long-running storyline and started a new one. Despite these changes, the show kept going strong. Chicago Fire has always been about more than just its characters. Even though it can be hard to say goodbye to characters you like, it's important to remember that change is a part of any long-running TV show. Over the years, Chicago Fire has changed and grown, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for this popular show. But that doesn't mean that the characters who left have been forgotten. Some of them were led away by their personal ambitions. Yep, I'm talking about when Peter Mills, another character, was set up to stay for a while.
That's really all I did. Working out and making sure dinner was ready by the time Harrison got home.
You know, we got a heavy bag and some weights at the house if you want to.
Oh, do you guys have Zumba classes in Chicago?
I do not know what that is.
So much so that Charlie Barnett, who plays Mills, felt the same way and was shocked when he was written out of the show after season 3. Mills left because he wanted to leave the city and open a restaurant with his family, but it all happened so quickly that it was confusing. Barnett has said that he was disappointed by the decision. This was made because the writers thought they had gone as far as they could with his character and wanted to go in a different direction with the show. Mills is still alive, so he could theoretically make a cameo appearance at some point. Of course, there are reasons why the rest of these characters left the show, but when this character left, it really stung. Ethan Hawke's departure from the show came out of nowhere. This one hurts even now.
Change. The fact that you have to go above and beyond to please DC Hill.
We, you and I, made the irrational decision to get together despite all the pitfalls. Would you change any of it? Because I wouldn't change a second of it.
I never thought Hawkins would become the main character, but he seemed like the kind of character who could be Violet's boyfriend for many seasons. The two of them were electric together. By season 11, it seemed like things were finally going well. Then, all of a sudden, Hawkins died in a fire. You have to credit the Chicago Fire writers because this surprised me. It's still affecting Violet and how she acts daily, which is understandable since Hawkins' death was so sudden and out of the blue. More recently, though, this character's intention of leaving was surprising. Taylor Kinney leaving Chicago Fire was incredibly unexpected. He could have said no to the last-minute chance, but it was too good to pass up. Kinney didn't show up on the episode because he'd already left when it was being filmed. Instead, OFI's Van Meter gave the news to Bowden. Even though Bowden is upset, he knows the training will help the firehouse when Severide returns. Last month, I heard Kinney was leaving the police drama to deal with a personal matter. Since the show's first episode in 2012, Kinney's been in charge. This is just one of the many recent changes to the Chicago Fire. Although it's not the first time people have left to pursue other endeavors, sometimes the actors just needed a break. Like Jesse Spencer, who played Lieutenant Matthew Casey. When the actor left the show, things did seem out of place for a bit. After 8 years, the actor decided to leave the drama. His character, Matthew Casey, left Chicago and tried to have a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend, Sylvie Brett. That's when he realized he'd been doing TV for a long time. Since leaving the NBC show, Jesse has been very busy working on other projects, and I hope we get to see him on our screens very soon. That's all the most unexpected Chicago Fire characters who left the show.